Ongoing observation of early-stage gravitational manipulation experiments conducted by a developing civilization indicates partial conceptual alignment with underlying physical reality. Current models remain incomplete, constrained by surface-level interpretations of gravity, space-time, and propulsion. This document outlines corrective frameworks and identifies the true functional principles of advanced craft systems. The subject civilization has conducted sustained reactor testing over a multi-day period, demonstrating initial interaction with non-classical physical regimes. This phase typically precedes conceptual breakthroughs related to geometry-based navigation and field manipulation. Such developments are routinely monitored. Prevailing interpretation defines gravity as a force generated between masses. While functionally adequate for low-order systems, this description is incomplete. Gravity is not a produced force. Rather, it is the observable effect of geometric self-adjustment within a deeper structural framework. The term space-time approximates this concept, but is itself not fundamental. At a deeper level, reality is best described as information structured through relational fields. This framework may be approximated by the term computation, though the analogy is imperfect. What is perceived as physical law emerges from the dynamic organization of this informational substrate. The analyzed reactor does not primarily generate energy in conventional terms. Observed antimatter production within the triangular element chamber is incidental, a secondary effect. The primary output is a localized, coherent distortion within the gravitational lattice. This distortion represents a controlled modification of the underlying geometric structure. Measured distortions extend several meters under partial activation. At full operational capacity, the distortion propagates beyond the limits of current instrumentation. The effective range is sufficient to alter spatial relationships across astronomical distances and restructure trajectories between stellar bodies. The craft utilizing this system does not traverse space through propulsion. Instead, it reconfigures spatial geometry. As a result, distance becomes a non-limiting variable. Transit is achieved through geometric realignment rather than motion. This invalidates all conventional propulsion classifications. A more accurate categorization is navigation of geometric relationships. Reactor activation beyond a defined threshold results in automatic system shutdown. This behavior is not mechanical fail-safe logic. It is adaptive. The craft exhibits characteristics consistent with self-preserving systems. The craft should not be classified as a machine. It more closely resembles a colony-based living system, comparable to coral reef structures with distributed functionality, interdependent subsystems, and growth-oriented architecture. Interior structures appear cultivated rather than manufactured, confirming a bioengineered origin. Such systems are the product of advanced engineering cultures predating the observed civilization. Design preference for living architectures is attributable to superior adaptability under extreme gravitational distortion and enhanced resilience in nonlinear field conditions. Absence of physical controls is intentional. System operation is achieved through resonance coupling with the pilot's neural field. This process requires coherent cognitive states and alignment of intention with geometric configuration. The concept of input commands is not applicable. Attempts to operate the system via computational signal injection have produced no response. This is expected. Current machine systems lack the capacity for sustained coherence and field-level consciousness integration. Consciousness is not external to system function. It is an integral component. The pilot does not select a destination. The pilot aligns with it. This distinction is critical. Modification of geometric structure inherently affects temporal relationships. Therefore, space and time are not independent variables. Gravitational manipulation induces temporal distortion. At sufficient scale, this introduces causality instability. Civilizations reaching this level of technological development are subject to external observation. Rationale includes the emergence of potentially destabilizing knowledge and increased probability of uncontrolled geometric manipulation. Observation is standard. Intervention is minimal. Total suppression of knowledge. Progression is not feasible. Accordingly, limited guidance may be introduced to encourage conceptual accuracy and highlight systemic consequences. The observed civilization is approaching a critical milestone, recognition that reality responds to both matter and consciousness. At this stage, distinctions between physics and philosophy begin to collapse. The craft under study should not be categorized as transportation technology. It is more accurately defined as an interface system bridging consciousness and structural reality. Current efforts represent an attempt to reverse engineer advanced technology. In practice, the subject civilization is engaging with a fundamentally different understanding of reality itself. Continued experimentation will result in eventual success. Upon successful integration of these principles, the following realization is expected. Interstellar distance is not a fixed barrier, but a condition of perception. The stars are not far.